I wanted to make a video focusing on a few transparent topics that I feel are truly needed to be spoken about. And the three topics are social media, overeating, negative self-talk, and lack of purpose, finding faith in God. Before I dive into these topics, I was listening to these podcasts today, and when you listen to intelligent people speak and conversations, hard conversations, it does wondrous things for your mind. And avoiding constant context switches, also known as grabbing your phone, scrolling through social media, or just being distracted consistently. Our brain is meant to be focused. We are best off spending time in nature, not scrolling through screens. Technology is amazing. There are so many pros to it, but we must be transparent with our family, our friends, and ourselves. So that is why I wanted to speak on these topics. Let's get into the social media. First of all, the comparison factor. Social media was literally created to be addicting. That is why Social Dilemma on Netflix has been produced. There are employees, the CEOs, the inner works of social media speaking out against it. And it's amazing to see people repent and attempt to educate the population on the harms, the cons of social media. But there are a lot of pros. My issue is it's a false reality for all these young kids growing up. It has a lot of psychological damages and issues. For me, I'm quite a confident person, but I still suffer comparing myself to others, people who have way more followers than me. It's like, man, I want to be like that. And it's not bad to want to share information and make a difference in this world. But where it gets bad is if you're talking to yourself negatively because you're comparing constantly. So to avoid things like this, I try on most days, once at night, once in the morning. And when I say the morning, I mean the afternoon, not the morning. We are happiest as humans with fulfillment. Social media gives us no fulfillment. Unless you truly are collaborating, having conversations with people that you're working on building relationships with, social media is a big fat distraction. And what is bad about it is we have a lot to focus on. So when you're being distracted and your brain is context switching consistently, it doesn't lead to better things. It leads to worse things. It is damaging and it's unhealthy. What I would love to see is more people tap into this. What is your ROI on social media? Your rate of investment? Is it a positive skew, or are you getting negatively fucked because of social media? Me personally, I get a few good things out of it, but the days that I spend less time on social media, mindlessly scrolling, I end up living happier, being happier. So if I could make any difference in your life right now, try to use social media twice per day, or at least put a time limit on your social media. I can promise you by doing this, you'll notice your mood, your feelings, and your day will improve. So if you have any intriguing thoughts or counter arguments, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. The overeating and the negative self-talk. I'm in good shape. I'm an athlete, but I smoke weed. So when you smoke weed, there are scientific data that shows THC in your brain makes you want to eat, makes your stomach feel full, never feel full, my correction. but it's something I need to work on, and I want to speak about it because talking about my errors, my insecurities, most people don't do it. So being able to joke about yourself or be real, be honest with others, it's a difference maker. So what happens to me is if I'm eating processed foods that already are pre-digested and then you add on being baked, you could eat a whole family-sized bag of Doritos like that. So by being mindful on this whiteboard, I write one meal in the afternoon, one meal at night. Kind of think about it a little bit, plant it in my head so I understand, okay, first meal maybe 5 p.m., second meal 7 p.m., whoop, that's all I get. It helps. And it's a never-ending process to improve, to be healthier, to learn, all of this. Nothing great happens overnight. You don't get rich overnight unless you put in the work. So that's where I'm at with the overeating. And speaking to yourself positively, you have to work to earn that, or else your conscience is going to treat you like shit. But if you work, if you plan, you're improving. And for me, this means reading books, exercising, getting nature, doing focused work, avoiding the scrolling and the context switching, actually sitting down and creating content for an hour or two without going on my phone. That makes me feel fulfilled. It makes me feel just positive. And by doing the actions, you earn positive self-talk. Lastly, let's get into the lack of purpose, finding faith in God. The word religion is some bullshit because religion is viewed as like a cult, something you have to do all the time, and every Sunday you must be at church. For me, religion is quite simple. It is being 100% for God. There is no exception for Satan. And I'm aware of when I see Satan. So, a quick thing. Hollywood, movies, there are so many subliminal, subconscious messages going throughout. Excuse me. And these messages, if you're not aware, they go into your subconscious without you understanding what the real agenda of the movie is. So, by having a purpose and finding faith in God, it keeps you motivated to day by day life. For me, I'm trying to generate income, and my dream is to generate income to a point, number one, I can have an influence on others and improve others' lives. Number two, I want the freedom over my own time, so I don't have to be a slave or a rat in the 9-to-5 race. Let me say, having a 9-to-5 is amazing. You learn skills, you build connections, you form relationships, etc. But nothing's more amazing than being your own boss over what you do, when you do it, and why you do it. But that is something you must earn. Earning that takes consistency, education, transparency. It isn't easy, essentially. So, to find faith and having a purpose, it's something you build slowly over time. By influence people, by creating videos, I've been so nervous about this. I've thought about it so much. But I feel this is what I'm meant to do, is help change the world in a way that improves others. And my generation has had, each generation is different, but my generation with the social media and the technology, it's just tough. There's no other way to put it. It's a new challenge for each individual. And to be aware, to understand what is really going on, to know that if you treat others with kindness and you live with a reason to help others, you'll help a stranger, you treat others the way you would like to be treated, you can make a huge difference in this world and earn your way to the true afterlife, which I would consider heaven. But if you don't live the proper way and you're distracted, you live a life of distraction, and truly Satan is a trickster. Satan's purpose is to distract you from your real faith in the Lord. Repent against Satan, repent against evil. Be aware of when you're being distracted. So if you learned anything, any comments, future video suggestions, tips, things you didn't like, I'm here for them all. Let me know, drop them in the comments. Enjoy your night. Thank you.